Hi and welcome back to my channel where we look at news, reviews and rides going on in the PV community. On this special episode we're looking at the Lacroix Nazare Lonestar Supersport. So let's check it out. Okay, right, so here we go. So I ordered this board when they announced them in December 24th, Christmas Eve, as an early Christmas present. Now 4 months later it's finally turned up. It's been a really long wait, but hopefully with the wait comes with quality. So hopefully everything's perfect at the box. So I'm really looking forward to this. So basically, yeah, let's just get ourselves straight to it. So this is going to be the Lacroix Nazare Lonestar Supersport. So this is going to be the top grade of what Lacroix has to offer at the moment, and basically one of the pinnacles in the PV scene and e-skate community. So I've been waiting for this for a long time. Now, just before we get into this, it was a bit of a stressful situation because the week leading up to delivery, FedEx lost this parcel. So I was absolutely bricking it. I was so scared they'd lost it. It was announced that it was in Montreal somewhere. Found at FedEx, they didn't know what it was. So about a week later, it's finally turned up. Now that's nothing to do with Lacroix's fault, but this is FedEx, and apparently they can lose these kind of things. And lucky enough, it's turned up. So grab a knife, let's open this beast up. Now just one thing, this box is ridiculously heavy, like ridiculously heavy. It took me and my girlfriend to lift up a single flight of stairs and carry it from my car into our apartment. This thing weighs an absolute ton. So I'm gonna try and twist it up and open this beast up. Hopefully the table doesn't give way. No, it's done it. Right, that should be it. Ever so gently lift it down. I'm not exaggerating this thing. This thing weighs 30 plus kilos. And there's a couple of extra things that I've ordered as well as the board in here. So it's not just a stock board, there's a couple extras as well. Okay, so here we go. I don't know if I'm ready to open this. I'll open it. And I can't see anything yet because there's packaging everywhere. Right, giant ass box. Okay, so just opening it quickly. Got this little bag with nothing inside it, so I'm guessing there might have something be quite loose in here. One thing I'm gonna check straight away. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's keep going. So I'm gonna open the Lacroix tape. I would love a roll of Lacroix tape. I don't know why. I think it's quite nice having branded tape. So this is better because on my other video for my Nazare and my other Lonestar, they were just left these boxes in. So they've actually added a little bit more protection in the packaging process. Now one thing I did ask Alex on No Limits to Ride Electric's stream is why do they use these cardboard boxes and nothing like a very special box like you would have something like an Evolve. And Lacroix have announced it's to do with the ecosystem, so it's just to reduce the carbon footprint, which I think is a really good thing. And one thing I'd failed to think about when I was asking about the packaging. So let's keep going. Very gentle, it's like surgery. Okay, there. Right, is that all out? Right, that's all out now. I'm gonna have a look at this in a second. Ooh. Right, so I'm gonna look at this last, I'm gonna cover it. There's a nice little bit of fabric on this, it's kind of like teasing, it's like almost like teasing me with this little piece of fabric in here. So, we actually have a documented waiver in here, which is interesting, which is Lacroix's disclaimer and waiver of responsibility. So you buy it and now you're on your own. It also says it's a high risk activity. Basically be careful. Basically, you know, if you hurt yourself it's your fault. So you need to make sure you keep those safe, because this thing, let alone any of them, are rockets. So please be careful. Let's take it the other side. Oh, thanks. Ooh. Ooh. Now I didn't expect that. Now I've got another full complete with a gear drive. So we'll look at all this, we'll get everything out, and then we'll talk about it in detail. So we've got a spare wheel. More bubble wrap that does nothing. Ooh, little treats and trinkets. Ooh, gotta put that to the side. Okay, that's something I ordered as an additional. That's heavy, so that might be why the additional weight is gone. And if I look in here, yep, oh, a bit more. In here, yeah, that's now another empty box. That's the charger. Okay, right, so last little bit of packaging. Classic unboxing style. That's gone. Oh, I like this little blanket. It's like taking a new baby from the hospital and just gently taking her out of her crib. So let's just open this. Oh my god. Ooh. Blankie. I leave the Lacroix blankie to the side. Oh, there's one more thing here I just found. Little box. Anything else, or is that it? That is it. This. Oh, okay. I know what this is. Right, that's going to go to the side then. Okay, this is the remote. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lift this out, show you the accessories first, and then we'll talk about the board in a bit more detail. But damn, okay, right, so first thing we're going to do is have a look at some of the accessories that we have inside the box before we have a look at the main board. So first of all, I want to say we've got ourselves a spare complete hub with the gear drive installed on it as well. So that's going to be a nice little hop and swap feature. What's nice as well, it's only a little piece of mechanics on there, which is really good to see. So you could leave that in your bag ready to go if you ever have a flat. Now this is one thing I ordered as an additional. One thing about obviously ordering from a company that's not based in yours, one thing is if parts go wrong, it can be a very expensive replacement. So when I ordered the board, I added all the extras I thought I would need going forward. So going forward, I haven't got to worry about replacing motors or other elements like that and paying double shipping and import tax. So I actually ordered a spare motor. So in here is the spare motor that I ordered. So let's look at this quickly. Giant Coke can. Right, yep, so this is the new KV motor. So this is different KV on the Lacroix, Nazare and Lonestar. They're running a different KV for the Supersport. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, no, so I did order a spare motor in case one goes wrong. I've had one motor die on me in all the Lacroix I've ever had, so it's just nice to have an extra spare. So one thing to make note of, if you're going for a nice long trip or an event into another country, it's very important that you take a couple spares with you. So I always bring a couple spare gears, spare belts, spare tyres, inner tubes, and sometimes an additional motor, especially if I'm going outside the country. So I bought myself an additional motor. Now for some of you, if this is your first unboxing video, this is the charger for the Lacroix. So I'm going to cut that open. As you can see, it's massive, absolutely ginormous. Now this is a 8 amp charger. Lacroix do sell a 12S charger, but they sell it for £200 roughly. So I thought for me, if I'm riding my Lacroix, especially the Lonestar, I'm not going to need a larger charger for quick charging, because the idea is to ride for as long as you want, and I don't need to charge quickly because I won't have to charge as often, is the thought behind it. So that's the 8 amp charger. You can buy the larger charger, but that's the standard charger. So for people who are in the UK, you need to get like a kettle adapter for your Lacroix. These are quite cheap, like £5 off eBay. I've not checked if I actually get a UK charger this time, but so far I haven't had one as of yet. Okay, looking inside the accessories pack, we've got some new stuff in here, which is nice. Here's another additional extra I had to, well, I didn't have to buy, but I bought to attach some lights. Now these are the adapters needed for the Falcon drive on your Lacroix. So if you already have a Lacroix with Hypertrucks, you need to get the specialized adapter to fit the rear GoPro mount. So if you want to have this attached to your Supersport, this is the adapter you need, because I did have one before, and unfortunately now I can't use that for this board, so I had to buy another one of these, which it sucks a little bit, but with the new drive system it does make sense. So we've got one of those, one for each side, so they'll be fitted later. Okay, we've also got a sticker pack. So we've got the Lonestar Supersport sticker pack, we've got the blue one and we've got the red one. So obviously the blue for the Lonestar and the red is for the Nazare. So we've got a little sticker pack here, which is nice. Something I didn't have before. Spare screw kit. Now I've never had to actually change any of the screws on my Lacroix. The only ones is the enclosure screws. They do wear out very quickly, especially if you don't torque the enclosure screws well enough. So just be careful when you're doing that to make sure you give them the right torque. Right, so spare bushings. Now the black I believe is the hardest. One thing I didn't get, which I haven't got this time, is the instruction book. They normally give you a nice little instruction book with your Boxer, but I might be into something else. The blue is what caused me an issue on my first Nazare. Now these are for a very light rider, which means that the boards can be much more carvy, but I had these all over my board, and for the speeds that you're getting out of your Lacroix, unless you're a very, very light rider, you need to have a nice firm bushing, especially the speed that you're going at. This is plastic. I don't know why. I thought this was going to be metal, but it looks nice. So we've got the badge, the Lacroix Lonestar Supersport badge with the tape on the back, so that's going to go on the board. So this badge looks the absolute business, and this is, believe it or not, this is the one thing that I really wanted on my board, the Lonestar Supersport logo. It just looks the business. I'm going to put that on my board. I've got to figure out where it's going to have to go. I'm surprised they didn't give you one and then have one as a spare. Interesting. Maybe you could decide where you want to put it, that's why. Or if you want to have it customized, like a lot of people do. Okay, last, yep. Just noticed this. Yeah, I've only got a European or an American plug, so those two are useless, unfortunately. So, but I do have some spare cables which I use for my tramper, which will be quite good. So, let's see what's in this box. Little charging cable. And I've got a theory about this one, I'm really interested. Yes! We did it! So, this is the Lacroix. This is the Hoyt puck, which is engraved in the back, which is nice. So they've also upgraded the thumb wheel with this little notch at the end. So the standard Hoyt puck doesn't actually have that. So that's one thing they've done as an additional. And they've also engraved the back. Now I've been using the Hoyt puck for a little while on my Lacroix Prototipo, and originally I didn't like it. I thought it was a really weird shape, really strange way to hold your remote, not like almost like a boomerang shape that we have for most remotes nowadays. So this is an interesting shape. But I'm interested to see what this feels like, especially with this little nub, so you can lock your finger in, which is quite nice. But the resistance is really, really nice. But there's loads of really nice features with the Hoyt puck, which we'll go through in another video. But the features for the Hoyt puck is a really, really interesting move for Lacroix, because originally it was a VX1, but they had a bad batch of remotes. I unfortunately had that on my Lacroix Lonestar, so I was having disconnect issues at speed, which is one thing that you can't be having. So Lacroix listened, and they've now only shipping board with the Hoyt puck remote, and only one remote. Now they used to ship two remotes, two VX1s, but now they only have a single puck remote. But to be honest, you're very unlikely to kill this battery in your Hoyt puck before the board in sensible sense really, but it's always worth carrying a battery bank on you and charging the remote up when you go out for rides. So that's all the accessories. Let's have a look at the board. Okay, right, so the wait is over, and here it is in all its epicness. The size of this board and the weight of it, you wouldn't even understand. Now this thing is an absolute rocket. So this is an 18S 8P 21700 cell configuration gear drive Lacroix. So that means monster power, monster speed, monster range, monster torque. Basically it's a monster. So why did I buy this board? Why did I buy this board? Now for me, I wanted the pinnacle of what was available in the market at the time. Now we could have gone DIY, but every single element about this board, is unique to Lacroix. The deck is the business, absolutely the business. It's so well designed. Now I love in the new grip tape design. It's really interesting because one thing I didn't like about the original Lacroix is a very bright blue and red design, but now it's just the absolute business. Let me just see if there's anything I can see. No. Let's look in the absolute business. So let's go about the features. So the Lacroix has an 18S 8P battery with 21700 cells, estimated range between 50 and 100 miles. 100 miles range potentially. However, does that mean riding the board really, really slowly and conservatively, or does it mean it's got a potential of at least 60 miles on a single charge? Either one of those numbers I'm absolutely stunned by. So in total there's 144 21700 cells. 144. That's ridiculous amount of cells. So what this means, so let's just think about it logically. This is not about how many cells it's going to have. This means you get on the board and you are the limit. You haven't got to think about range, you haven't got to think about speed, you haven't got to think about how far I can go. All you have to think about is your board and the road, which is what Lacroix is about. And that's why there's nothing else like a Lacroix, with the range and the power and the endless ride you can have with this board. Okay, moving along. The lights on this board are 3000 lumens each. 3000 lumens each. So it means when I ride a Lacroix, I have the setting at the lowest settings because this is ridiculous amount of power for the lights. And you really don't need that unless you're going down a country road where there's no one about, or you're in the desert and there's no one around you. You don't need that much power in your light. So also the Lacroix has updated their deck with this really, really sexy black and red carbon fibre weave on top of the board. New grip tape, which I think is really, really nice to really demonstrate the kind of sheen in the board, which is nice actually. So when the light hits this deck, it almost glistens, which is really nice. On this model, we've got the gear drive, which is the Falcon gear drive. Now this is about £500–600 upgrade on the board, but I thought if I'm going to get a new Lacroix from the Lonestar, everything has to be different, which is what we've gone for here. Okay, so we're talking about the motors quickly. So they're 130 kV and 6,380 watts of power each. So with these motors, it's bringing you up to a top speed where Lacroix quote, more than you need. And I can tell you that for free. I've never once gone on any Lacroix and gone, not really quick enough. The reason why I wanted an 18S is just for that initial torque, so for me to actually compete at events and race boards as well. So I thought this board, I can use that for events and I can use it maybe going for group rides and other things like that. But the numbers that this board have is just ridiculous. Also you can see we've got the Hyper rims, and we've got the Le Mans ones on this one. Geez. The precision in engineering on these is the business. Only thing which is interesting is that the valve goes on the inside of the board, and I think that's to hide the valve. Now for me personally, I prefer the valve to be on the outside, so you could do it as you go. but tyres are already inflated and that's not necessarily a problem. Also, we've also rocking the Lacroix Stormcore 100D, which means that the motor controller can handle that 18S configuration. So that's what this board is all about. Every single component is made modular for the board. That's the difference. That is why this board is as much as it was. So how much did I pay for this board? Close to £5,000 plus import tax and shipping. So that is a car, many cars maybe, or rent for many months. Why did I spend that kind of money on this board? I think for me, who's as passionate as people who know me personally, I just want the best that is available in the market. For me, it's not about comparing boards to other people, but for me, I want to have a board that I can just switch off and I can enjoy the ride, and that's what e-skating is all about for me. So we'll just have a look at the enclosure quickly. So we've got a carbon fibre enclosure. This is where the speed motor controller, the BMS and everything like that is. And we've got 3 configurations for that 18S 8P. One thing I absolutely love about this board is the fact that it has your name on it, and I think that's a really nice special touch. So this will only have my name on it. So one thing I would recommend, put like a protective film over the top, like a clear one, so if you want to seal that in, that's only if you want to seal the board in. And obviously we've got the charging port, which is gigantic as well. Everything on this board is absolutely massive. Okay, right, so turn the board on, turn the remote on. Here we go, the first breath of life. Okay, yeah, it's connected. Right, let's see what this thing sounds like. Wait, the whole house just shakes. 1 second. Holy sh**! The sound of the thing! My God! Right, that is a glimpse of the board moving. Now the whole bloody apartment was shaking. Jesus Christ! So there's a glimpse of the unboxing of the board. So if you want to get your own Lacroix, any type at all, click the link below. It does help the channel out a little bit, which is good, which means I can get more content out for you guys to enjoy. So I'll say thank you very much for watching. You guys stay safe out there. See you on the next one. Peace.